Why, hello, and welcome to the show. It is Sunday, December 6th, 2020. Hello, Zach. How are you?
As I said before, average.
Well, to me, the rest of the...
Why, hello,
Oh.
and welcome.
Let me turn myself down there. Yes, I do have the stream up so I can monitor it on the side, if anyone was wondering. Anyway, so, yeah, news. What do I have for news this week? Ooh! So, have you ever played around with a Raspberry Pi before? What was that? I'm guessing you said no.
That's a no.
Okay, no. Anyway, but you know what a Raspberry Pi is. You know what the concept is behind them, right? Uh-oh. Are we now having internet issues?
I said yes. What do you mean?
I heard like a blip.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
I heard a
I said
blip
yes.
and then there was nothing. So, anyway, yeah. So I, got a whole little kit and, took it down to the church. And I can now VPN.
Oh, so you're just using it as a little network thing?
Yeah, so basically, sorry. Yeah. This is interesting. This is Powerade. I don't know how I feel about this. This is cucumber lime. I like cucumber.
Sorry.
Oh, what were you saying?
I said I realized that a little network thing is about the dumbest thing I could have said, but hey, whatever.
This is cucumber and lime. Both two things that I like, but I don't know about together. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Yeah. So it runs on top of, I think they've changed the OS name now to Pi OS, which is basically like a modified version of Debian, I believe. Anyway, I installed a program called Pi VPN, which runs you through an installation wizard, and then you're able to use it. It's based on OpenVPN, and so the Raspberry Pi acts as the VPN server. And then you download the client and you get some configuration files, you type a password in, and bada bing, bada boom, you can remote in. So.
Neato.
Oh. Do I dare? I don't know about that. I was going to say, let me VPN in, but I don't know how that's going to work with the stream. That could get interesting. It may disconnect my internet temporarily, like for a couple seconds.
Will.
Let's not do that. But anyway, so yeah, I have the little client all installed on my computer, and I just click connect, and in about 30 seconds, as far as my computer is concerned, it is sitting at the church, all connected to the network. So I can access the server. I can access, anything that was on the network, I can access, and then I can use like remote desktop connection to just connect straight into like the server or whatever else I need to. The legit server, not our VPN server that we just built. But anyway, so yeah, this will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this works moving forward. I need to contact our office secretary tomorrow and see how they're doing, because they were exposed to somebody that had COVID-19 apparently. So they have been absent for a little bit. So we'll see. They may be one of the first people besides myself to VPN in, and then at least be able to maybe do, I don't know how much work they're planning on doing while they're gone, but they'd at least be able to do some of it then. and then just VPN in straight into the church and have all the stuff that they need. So anyway, so that's the new stuff that I've been working on. Oh, and I applied for an IT job. We'll see what happens.
Very cool.
So it's with a manufacturing company, and they are looking for kind of like an all-around tech person, which is more suitable for what I want to do. No offense to you, Zach, but your job sounds boring to me.
Yeah, it often is.
Yeah. But you're like...
Puts money in my pocket.
I know it puts money in your pocket, which is good. I often wonder, though.
Yeah, if it didn't, I wouldn't go there. Sounds crazy, I know, but if it didn't, I wouldn't go there.
Hey, the church doesn't pay me anything, and I still do stuff there. Then again, it's like having a giant...
You're lost.
Actually, no. It's like having a giant playground to play around in. That I get to do stuff with. So, the knowledge side of things is, I think, well worth it. But, anyway. What was I gonna say? No, so, I think there may be a slight difference between me and you, because, well, let me ask you. So when people say, you know, I want to work in the tech industry, well, that can mean a lot of different things. It can
mean a ton of things.
So, I guess to you, like, if you had your ideal job in IT, what would it be doing?
I don't know.
See, that's
I'd want to experience them all before I could make a verdict.
See, so would you...
Or at least to read a description.
Okay. See, so, like, you're...
Like, what will I be asked to do, you know?
Yeah, okay, so you right now, like, the idea of me sitting at a desk providing support to end users, like, I probably wouldn't hate it, but I'd much rather be, like, and you have a little bit of hands-on, I'm sure, but I would, like, ideally love to be, like, real hands-on, like, you know...
With what, though? 'Cause
everything in an entity, let's say a school district or something like that. An access point goes out for some reason. Why did the access point go out? Does it need to be replaced? Okay, fine. There's a network outage. Why is there a network outage? Did a switch go down? Did a configuration file get changed? A user breaks their device. Okay, fine. What am I doing with that device? Okay, it needs a new screen. Put a new screen on it. So I'm talking all aspects of, like, a well-rounded kind of aspect, well-rounded territory of IT. So a little bit of everything. Something to keep it kind of fresh every day. Or, you know, a user blows up their laptop because they installed something they weren't supposed to. And, you know, now we need to back up all their stuff and wipe it and reinstall the operating system. Really?
Not those specifically, but I mean, we had a ransomware incident recently, which was epic, loads of fun.
Wait, what?
And
somebody click on a link they weren't supposed to click on?
Well, I don't know the details, but evidently evidently a piece of software that we have had a vulnerability.
Yup. So
there you go.
Whose fault is this gonna be?
Probably the software company.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, okay, there's probably some blame on the software company, but here's the thing.
There's also some blame on like the server admins and those types.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say.
For not having security software enabled on all the servers, because the ones that had it were fine, and the ones that didn't got clapped. There were backups of the servers, but any workstation that didn't have security software on it did get
so
whacked.
with the exception of one
And,
user right now. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Also, one of the sites lost files going back as far as June, I think. So, yep. Don't envy whoever has to explain that to them.
See, you're right. It is on the system administrators to make sure that their stuff is patched. A software developer can say, "Hey, by the way,
The software was patched.
But even still, like
That software was patched.
okay, fine. But even still, like a software company can be like, "Hey, by the way, like Windows does or Microsoft does this, right? With Windows. It's like, "Hey, by the way, there's a vulnerability. Here's the update." Well, I guess it doesn't matter on Windows 10 now because the updates just install whatever. But
Yeah, Microsoft feels like it. Yep.
which is a case, there's an argument for the case that automatic updates sometimes are a good thing. But yeah, just like that, a software developer can say, "Hey, by the way, we have a security vulnerability with our software here." But so the software company can do their due diligence, right? But unless they have some specific way of automatically pushing that down and installing it, it also falls on whoever's responsibility is to update those systems as well. So, what I was going to say is, with the exception of one user, and hopefully now that we have the VPN, that's going to change. Because this particular individual has a portable machine that they often, especially right now, are taking with them, like from the church back home and stuff like that. So now that we have the VPN installed, what we can do is we can finally move their files to our server and then just tell them, "Hey, if you want to access your files while you're at home, just connect into the VPN." And so what we need to do, we're still working on it. So our server, at the very least, gets backed up offsite. But what we need to do is get a decent drive, like a nice sized, external drive, so that we can also do a on-site backup as well.
An offline backup, I assume.
Well, it won't be offline. Well, what do you mean offline?
I don't mean off-site. I mean offline, like disconnected from any system.
Oh, no, it'll probably be connected directly to the system.
See.
Well, so the theory behind that is that in the event that like a drive fails or something like that, we just have quick access to our data. Now if we ever had something like a ransomware attack or something, that's what our off-site backup will be for. So we have a particular service that we pay some money to, of course, and then our files get uploaded to their servers offsite. So
There you
go. So yeah, on the off chance that we ever got hit with something like that, we have that as a backup. And most of our users are saving all their stuff, or at least our office secretary is saving all their stuff to our server. So if we ever lose the server, she's kind of screwed. But we can at least pull that stuff back. Pretty easily.
Some of the ransomware affected users were saving stuff to their C drive, so that was super awesome.
Yeah.
They probably won't be doing that anymore, but actually, who am I kidding? They definitely will still be doing that.
At least our office secretary has been really good about saving all of their stuff to our server now. And so, and the theory behind having a file server now is that in the event that we have to re-image a system, we shouldn't have to worry too much about the files. Because they will be accessible on the server. So we just bippity boppity install Windows and we're good to go. So Yep. Speaking of which, so I, at our entity, the entity that I currently work for, had somebody come in with a laptop that they said had a virus on it. So I backed up some videos. That was about all the files that they actually really had on there. Oh, I had to do some low-level hacking into the system too.
Hacking? Hacking?
Low level, like very, very low level. So,
And so did you whip out CMD? That's hacking.
yeah,
Heard that's
I did.
hacking.
I did actually.
Can use CMD.
Well, okay,
Oh my
so
gosh.
they couldn't remember their password. So how do you think I
That's
got
what
in?
hackers use.
They-
Yeah, you probably use like Trinity Rescue Kit or some equivalent.
Oh no,
Tool.
I didn't actually install any software on the computer.
You don't have to install any software to use any of those kind of tools.
I plugged nothing into the computer besides a Windows install drive.
Oh, so you just nuked it?
Kind of. Well, I eventually did. So here's what I did. So I took my installer media, plugged it in, and then opened the command prompt in that. Then what I did is I copied the command prompt like program, because I guess it is a program, and replaced the quick access menu on the start screen with a command prompt. And so then I was able to restart the computer, click on the quick access button on the login screen, and it gave me a full-fledged command prompt where I was then able to go in and enable the built-in administrator account. And once I had access to the built-in administrator account, I was able to grab all the files I needed.
Very fancy.
So
Yep,
that's why I
that'll
say
do it.
low-level hacking. I've used that in the past before when a user has forgotten their password, like on Windows 7 or something, and I had to reset it. So that was a thing that I had to do. But no, once I had the files backed up, brought them to an or to a different system, scanned them, made sure that they were okay. And I think it's possible, but viruses don't generally embed themselves into files, or do they? think
I don't
they
know enough
can.
about them to answer that question.
I think that I don't either. I think they can, but I think they often don't. Anyway, so I scanned them, just made sure there was nothing malicious in them. At least according to AVG, there wasn't. And then I debanned the system.
Ah, very good. Let's make sure it's all gone.
Yeah, so when you sell a computer to somebody or get rid of a computer, what should you do before you get rid of it, Zach?
You should nuke it.
Yeah, you should nuke the drive. And there's a couple ways to do that. What are they?
Well, you could just do a normal format, which would just mark the sectors as available to be written to, which doesn't actually delete the data.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use a tool like dban or whatever you fancy to write junk data to the sectors and make sure they are not recoverable.
I thought he just wrote zeros. I thought it was all it did.
Zeros would be junk data, no?
Oh, wow. Nothingness. So, yeah, you can do that. What else can you do? There's one other thing you can do, Zach.
You can take out the hard drive and smash it.
There you go. That's what I was thinking of. Look, okay. Most non-technical people don't understand the concept of writing over the drive with zeros multiple times. They want to see physical destruction.
Yeah, but you know what they do understand is smashing a hard drive.
Right, they want to see physical destruction.
The evil hackers can't get your data if you smash it.
This is true. Well, okay, you have to do physical damage to the platters.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not exactly difficult. Quite
Well, so
delicate.
there was a guy on YouTube that I watched a long time ago, and he said he was watching a video of some guy that like took like a shotgun out and like blew a bunch of holes inside of a computer. But the joke was still on the guy because he hadn't actually hit the hard drive.
Yeah, that's why you take out the hard drive and then
do
take
it.
out your frustrations on it.
You know what else you could do? You know what else you could do, Zach?
And what is that?
Well, if you want to see physical destruction, you could just pop the whole thing in the microwave. I wanted to do that. I still do. Or at least the platter. I've seen it, and if they're glass, they will glow. Or will they? I don't know.
I don't
well,
know.
The metallic coating should glow. So I should preface this with saying, or I should include, I should say, don't do this with a microwave that you care about. Because you could blow out I think you could actually blow out the actual microwave part of it. Or something. You'll do damage to it. But anyway. All right. Tech topics for this week. Let's talk about them. For a second there, I loaded up the YouTube dashboard and I was like, have we not been streaming? But then I realized I can see this off to the side. So yes, we have been. Anyway. What do we got for this week? We're going to talk about Amazon Sidewalk, HP's free ink thing, your Microsoft news, a massive order of PS5s was canceled, and iPhones have had some issues. We'll talk about them, but first, the intro. So, yeah, Amazon Sidewalk. Have you heard about this yet, Zach?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. You need to opt out of Amazon Sidewalk. You're going to get a kick out of this. There's some good discussion here.
What is it? Why would I have it? Just because I have an Amazon account?
Possibly. I don't know.
I do.
You poke around the interwebs and see things. Anyway, so there is a good
I've
chance.
never seen Amazon Sidewalk.
So there's a good chance that you or someone you know has an Amazon Echo or Ring camera. And if you own one of those devices and live in the United States, you need to tell them to opt out of the service as soon as possible. So, yes, what is Amazon Sidewalk? Oh yeah, this is great. Ready for this? The feature was quietly announced late last year, and again at this fall's hardware event, but in a nutshell, Zach, it's a sort of secondary shared network for certain connected Amazon devices.
That's pretty stupid.
So the idea is it uses Echo and Ring devices as a bridge to extend connectivity over long distances.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
Yeah, so say your internet goes down, and thus renders your outdoor Ring security cameras useless, right?
Not the spying cameras.
Well, that's not an issue with Sidewalk, okay? Because you can just
Oh,
tap...
good. We can still make sure our across the street neighbors get spied on. Perfect.
Right. Well, here's why. Because you could just tap into your neighbor's Echo and Ring devices.
Aha! Perfect. Thanks, neighbors. You saved the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Sidewalk pilfers a small portion of your bandwidth that gets lumped together over other Echo and Ring devices in your vicinity to create to basically create a separate network. So in total, Amazon says that the monthly data it will borrow is capped at 500 megabytes, or roughly the equivalent of streaming a 10 minutes of high definition video. So basically, your devices are going to create their own separate Wi-Fi network. Separate. That, from what it sounds like, is supposedly just an open network?
Yeah, that's rough.
Not to mention the fact that they are blatantly stealing part of your internet.
And not only that, but guess what? A lot of people have data caps at home because, cable companies are just lovely.
Look,
lovely
okay,
people.
they say they will borrow, or the borrowed cap is going to be at 500 megabytes.
Do
I believe
500
that?
megabytes too many?
Yeah, for sure. Look, okay, what I've been seeing about this is, first, is this should be an opt-in, not an opt-out thing. Amazon shouldn't just be turning this on.
Nailed it.
Right? The second thing is because it's essentially creating a mesh network, is what it's doing. But because of this, what are the security vulnerabilities with this?
Probably many things.
Not to mention a whole slew of ethical questions here. Is it ethical? Is it? No, of course not.
It's just dumb. Like,
yeah. So it sounds like
that's
Amazon.
dumb. Let's not do that.
Yeah, so it sounds like Amazon has sent out some emails about this, basically letting people know that they're going to be launching Sidewalk later this year. So I don't know if they mean this year or 2021. Let's see. Let's see. The person that wrote this article says they knew about Sidewalk, but mostly because they're ingrained in the tech world and write techie stuff. So let's see. So Amazon's email was quick to give a general gist of what Sidewalk does, but it didn't spell out what security and privacy precautions Amazon was going to be taking to make sure that the secondary network wouldn't be easily exploited.
Hey, so you don't need to explain any precautions that you're taking if you don't take any.
Yeah.
See? I mean, honestly, Amazon's one step ahead of you, okay?
But basically, so instead of doing those, the email was framed towards an Echo owner as donating a small portion of your internet bandwidth to provide a service to your neighbors. Look, okay. I actually really don't have any, like, neighbors, per se, around me, like you would in, like, a general neighborhood. Let's go back to when I was living in the Twin Cities, right? I was pretty good buds with my buddy, right? Like, we grew up together. Good friends. Like the family. Great family. But I wouldn't probably... No. You know, I would not donate part of my internet to them. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's not like... I mean, does your internet connection go down that often? Like...
Oh, well, here's the other thing, because this is great. How many times has your internet gone down and it has been directly related to your networking equipment?
I don't know.
Your equipment.
What?
The internet's gone out. How many times has it directly been related to your equipment?
Equipment that I use?
The equipment that you own.
I don't know.
Your
Probably
router.
not.
Your router going down.
Yeah. Since I started using that piece of crap, not ever, I don't think. I say it's a piece of crap. I mean,
And here's the reason I bring
It's
this
like a
up?
6-7-year-old 802.11n router. I don't know.
Here's the reason I bring
Right.
this up, though, is that if there's a network outage, chances are it's not with your equipment you own or renting, I guess, but it is not generally with your in-home equipment. It's on the provider's side. And here's the thing. I live in a unique place, but in your area, right? You likely only have one internet provider, right? That is serving multiple people on your block. So this whole idea of if your internet goes out, your neighbors can just borrow your internet. No, if you
There won't
don't
be
have
anything
internet,
to borrow.
if you don't have internet, it's likely that your neighbors probably don't have internet either. The node goes down. Not your... Look, yes, individual equipment can have problems from time to time, but I think it's pretty rare. In most cases, when there's a network outage, it's on the provider's end, not yours. So, I think, didn't Mediacom go down at some point because like somebody misconfigured a router or something like that?
I don't know.
I think I heard a story about that. It was like a router or a switch was like misconfigured or something like that. And it was like preventing like a decent portion of like the Midwest or something like that from like getting internet. Whoops. So anyway, going on. This guy says in a throwaway sentence near the end, the email said that Amazon Sidewalk would be enabled by default on all supported Echo and Ring devices.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You know what? Here's why though. What is Amazon getting out of this?
They're probably spying on you somehow.
I
with
was
that.
gonna say, are they? There would be no reason for them to do this other than they're getting something out of it.
They're probably getting data. They're like,
That's kind of what I wondered.
We can see what's going on in the neighbors' networks.
So
Except actually, they probably already know what's going on in the neighbors' networks if they have Amazon devices on them. So I don't know.
So on Amazon Sidewalk FAQ, there's a bit more detail, including comprehensive list of devices that can act as a sidewalk bridge.
Either way, it seems like they don't really want you to know about it.
Well, it sounds like they're sending an email out, but even still, like, they're not...
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of quietly announcing this.
Well, yeah, I don't know if... yeah, possibly.
They'd rather you just didn't notice that it was happening.
But even still, if you were to ask... Well, one, how many people are just going to say, oh, some random email from Amazon, delete. So there's that, right? And then the people that do read the email, how many of them are actually going to understand what it's saying? How many are just going to be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, whoop, move on. So in the FAQs, there's a bit more detail that includes a comprehensive list of devices that can act as sidewalk bridges. The FAQ also provided a link to a more detailed white paper on the privacy and security used by Sidewalk. Here's the TLDR. Amazon says Sidewalk uses 3 layers of encryption. Okay. And you will never know what other Sidewalk devices are connected to your devices.
Great. So now, not only are we like basically letting our neighbors like jump into our networks, but we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, this guy says, forgive some of us for being incredibly skeptical on this. And it perhaps has something to do with the fact that just last year, Gizmodo was able to map Amazon's home surveillance network, revealing the possible locations of tens of thousands of Ring cameras across 15 U.S. cities via the Neighbors app. or the fact that Vice and Gizmodo both found instances of hackers breaking into Ring cameras, ultimately leading to a class action lawsuit. Yep!
Hooray!
Or the fact that initially Amazon did not explicitly state in its privacy policy that humans may listen to voice recordings collected by Echo devices. Maybe it's remembering that a Portland couple once learned their Echo had recorded a private conversation and sent it to a colleague due to misinterpreted background noise. So anyway, this guy goes on to say, what about this white paper? Well, the one where Amazon goes into great detail about its privacy and security measures, at the end of the day, that's a white paper written and commissioned by Amazon. And that's important to remember because, of course, Amazon is going to tell you that it's done everything in its power to make sure Sidewalk is private and secure.
Yes. No one should be surprised about that.
Look, they might not be lying, but there are definitely some talented people out there, talented hackers, and given enough time, they're likely going to find a way to exploit this.
It also just seems relatively pointless.
Yeah. Like the theory behind it, like if your internet goes down and your Ring camera just kind of ports itself over to your neighbor's internet, like the idea is kind of cool, but again, there's a flawed logic in there where if your internet goes down, it's likely that your neighbor's internet has gone down too. So anyway, so here's the thing: the success of Amazon Sidewalk is going to depend on how many people actually use this feature, but the fact that it is turned on by default,
it means that most people will.
Right, because they're not going to go in and turn it off, either because they can't be bothered to, or because they just don't understand.
They don't even know what it is.
They don't know how. They don't know what it is. I was going to say they don't understand it. So, as AI activist Liz Sullivan tweeted last year, Amazon is building the infrastructure to monitor us all. Yeah, probably.
Well, hey, but if you have a Ring camera, they're only monitoring your neighbors across the street, not you, right?
Oh man.
So you don't like the people across the street? Just get a Ring camera. And tell them they're being spied on all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, moving on. So, it turns out HP's free ink for life plan wasn't actually for life. Wow, no, really? Who could have thought that this would happen?
Who would have thought a printer manufacturer being horrible about ink?
HP recently informed Instant Ink plan customers that after just 3 years, it was ending its free ink for life deal, according to Consumer Reports. It becomes not so free as of Friday. Probably last Friday.
I don't understand. Like, how can you spin that?
Well, okay, so first off, let's look at what this
it sounds
was.
Pretty clear cut what they promised and that they're not going to be doing it.
Yeah, so the company remotely monitored printer buyers' ink usage, which just in itself is creepy.
I mean, companies love to monitor everything, so...
And then it would send a quote-unquote free cartridge when you were running low with some caveats.
Yeah, and I bet the caveat is it's free, except you have to pay for it.
I was going to say, that's a big one right there, is it's not really free. It's a service to basically get a new ink cartridge when you need it, and they ship it to your door, which is kind of convenient.
Yeah, but does anyone actually print that much?
Well, I don't know. So here's the thing. Printing and
I
ink,
guess people do.
was not unlimited. So, oh yeah, this is where this gets interesting. And just kind of sad. Users were allowed to print only a specific number of pages per month. Any guesses, Zach, as to how many pages?
Oh, it's some absurdly low number, like, I don't know, like, you can only print 10 pages a month. Or something.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close. 15
gosh.
pages per month.
What? Holy crap. That's horrible.
Subscribers also had to have a credit card on file with HP. And if you went over 15 pages, HP would charge you $1 for 10 additional pages.
Whoa. Wow. Jeez, sounds to me like this plan wasn't even very good before.
Oh yeah, another fun component of the plan. Every 5 pages, HP would print an ad on your printer.
Whoa. Hello?
But don't worry, the
Holy
ad wouldn't
crap.
count against your quota. So, I mean, there's that.
Holy crap. That's horrible.
That is
Imagine.
horrible.
Oh my god, it's horrible. Companies just want to put ads in everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I saw a screenshot not long ago of a like how expensive Samsung like Note 10, Note whatever they're on now, like the latest one costs like, I don't know, $1,200, $1,100, even more dollars with advertisements in the phone app. Can you even believe that? Imagine paying more than $1,000 for a phone, top of the line, and you get served advertisements on it, baked in.
you know what? I'm starting to
That just blows my mind.
I'm getting pissed with
like,
my...
that's kind of off topic, but like
No,
at the same time,
I like this.
You know, this
because
just goes with the whole like putting advertisements in everything.
I'm
They
getting
want to put advertisements in everything, including stuff that you already paid for.
my TV.
Advertisements only belong in free products. Actually,
My
to be
Vizio
fair,
TV
is this
does this
thing
with the smart
free?
hub.
Kind of not. I don't know.
With the smart
It's
hub that's
awful.
built in. Like, I will turn my
I
TV
will
on and
never, ever. Sorry.
yeah. No, I
ahead.
will turn my Vizio TV on and I will get a
probably
full
plays an
screen
ad.
ad about either some new
I would
app
throw that TV in
or
the trash.
the smart hub like the actual software that runs on top of this Vizio TV is kind of a piece of junk. I thought Vizio was supposed to be a pretty decent brand, but I don't know. We have Samsung smart TVs down at the church. I think they're actually pretty decent. So, anyway, yeah. So here's the thing about this, right? So HP is now going to be charging participants in this program. So it doesn't sound like they're getting rid of the program, Zach, but they're now going to be charging participants in the program 99 cents per month for their 15 pages. So that's about $12 a year, which doesn't sound like a lot.
Imagine paying that much for a page.
Yeah, but
Like,
okay,
holy
we're
crap.
missing the point here because these people signed up for free ink for life.
I know. I mean, it sounds to me like HP just wants to kill this whole thing, and this
It's
is how
not-
they're going to do
it's
it by
not-
making people hate it.
It's not free ink if you have to pay for it, though.
And there was advertisements in it. Holy crap! Oh my god! I never thought I'd see the day where a company would find a way to put advertisements in a printer, because as if printers weren't bad enough already.
Well, think
Now
about
they
it.
serve ads.
Think about it. Your printer connects to your internet.
Now they just imagine you're just printing a document and then like a random page in the middle is like an ad. Hello, can you even believe that? I can't even imagine
I
that.
wonder
If I owned a printer and it printed an ad in the middle of a document I was printing, I would chuck it out the window immediately.
Can you
and
imagine?
go buy the cheapest, crappiest printer I could get my hands on, because you know what? It's probably too stupid to serve ads.
I was gonna say, I wonder if you could
That
block
just grinds my gears.
If you were techy enough, you could probably
Actually,
block the.
I wonder if you
the
could
service.
block the ad servers. Oh, I can just imagine.
Well,
like,
here's the
I
problem with
can
that
just
because I was
imagine
thinking
some
about that.
angry. I can just imagine some angry user like using some software to like sniff out the ad servers.
I was
and
thinking
then
about this though, Zach.
redirecting them to localhost or something. So and then what would probably happen? The printer would try to print an ad, but it would just print an error instead, like could not reach the page 404.
No, you know what I
and-
was thinking will probably end up happening? It'll probably break the whole system.
So bad. Or
what-
or it would just refuse to work without connection to the ad
Well,
server,
you
'cause,
you
of
wouldn't
course.
you probably wouldn't get ink showing up. So what I imagine happens is that it figures out
I
how
hate
many
it.
pages you're printing per month and then determines whether or not you need a new cartridge sent to you.
Oh, it probably can't. Well, the ad servers might be different than the like. command
I
and
thought
control
about that, but I
servers.
think it's probably all served over one
It probably is
one network.
Maybe.
or one.
It's all just one big horrible
Mm-hmm.
nightmare thing.
So as if this doesn't get even worse, Zach. So there are
Gets
multiple
worse?
there are multiple tiers that you can sign up for. Between 99 cents all the way up to $24.99 a month.
Do you get extra advertisements with the $25 tier?
Probably. And basically it allows you to print more pages.
Yeah, like imagine like handing someone like a packet of documents or something. Like, oh, sorry about the ad right in the middle there. Whoops, must have missed it.
Oh, here you go. One positive change to the plan
So bad.
is that you can roll over your unused pages up to a cap. Or up to up to a cap. Oh my god.
Oh, imagine printers as a service. Companies just
That's what's
want you to
happening.
rent
Your printer
They want you to rent
it is
everything.
ink as a
It's
service.
horrible. They don't even want you to own a printer anymore.
You know what though? So if they really did market this
God.
as free ink for life, HP could have a class action lawsuit on their hands for like false advertisement. Just saying.
Shrug. Will it go anywhere? Probably not, because when does a big company ever get
I mean, there's
in trouble
class
for
action
anything like
lawsuits.
that?
Amazon got sued or served a class action lawsuit for the vulnerabilities of the Ring cameras or something like that. Anyway, so the bait and switch free ink for life deal is just the latest trick pulled by HP and other printer companies. Oh, so HP isn't the only company to do this. Okay. To make as much money as possible from their machines. Let's see. HP has milked down its customers dry with security chips in ink cartridges that stop your printer from working if you try to use cheaper ink from a third party. Yep.
Yeah, I bet they do that too.
Actually, you know what's interesting, right?
So you can't even use a third-party product that does the same thing and is designed to work with your other product, but your other product is designed to reject it for no other reason than it didn't come from the right company.
Let's see, 172.
It's awful.
31.0 dot.
Just like I said earlier, if I ever need to buy a printer for any horrible reason, it will be the cheapest piece of trash I can find on the shelf at Best Buy or wherever. Because you know what? It's probably too dumb to serve ads or connect to my network or whatever. It'll just be a piece of trash that plugs into the computer with a piece of trash cable.
Oh, this
Print
is what I was looking
pieces
for.
of trash in black
Well,
and
no,
white.
so I was going to say, I was looking for this, right? So in my closet behind me is our HP printer, right?
Yep.
I don't remember the last time we used it.
Yep. That's probably why it's in a closet, right?
No, it was in the closet because that's actually where it was kept even when we were using it. If we wanted to print something, we just
Probably
open the
'cause you
doors.
didn't use it very often.
So my room used to be rearranged. So where the lamp is, that wall used to be where the computer was. Computer desk used to be there. And then we had the printer in the closet on a shelf because it was the closest place to put the printer and still connect it into the computer. Anyway, so but and we print a lot of stuff, mind you, right?
Crazy.
I have this is what I have now. So this is the control panel for it. This in the basement is my Canon image class, like 4770.
Elite printers.
What is it? Yeah. Anyway, so it's a Canon laser printer. And it's only black and white. But honestly, for most things, that's all we need. It's just black and white, right? So I think the cartridges or the toner cartridges for this thing cost about $100 or so.
Oof.
Now, when you hear that, yes, okay, they're about 100. They might be a little over $100. It might be 120 tops.
Scammed right there.
No. Here's why. How often do you think I replace that cartridge? About...
Oh no, I don't print.
I replace the cartridge in that about once every... either annually or... So I get about a year to about a year and a half out of one cartridge.
Do you get served advertisements when you plug in the new cartridge?
Nope.
Wow. Living the high life.
So yeah, and because it's a laser printer, it's crazy fast too, which is really nice. But anyway, so yeah, I've had this ever since I bought that. For the most part, we have basically phased out using any other printer. Inkjet printers are a waste of money. So if I bought a new printer, a new laser printer, a colored one, because we don't print in color that much, I would probably end up replacing one of the black toner cartridges in it before I ended up replacing the cartridges, like the starter cartridges, probably. Yep. So
look at you.
Anyway, well, that's just how little we print in color, and they're so much more effective. You get so much. They're worth it. Like I said, the cartridges are super expensive, but when you think about it, for like an image or not for an inkjet printer, by the time you end up replacing all the cartridges in there, right? You probably spent about $50, and those cartridges only last like a couple months. So by the time you replace them twice, I've spent the same exact money on my inkjet printer as I would have on my laser printer. And I get a full year of printing out of it, sometimes like a year and a half. I don't remember the last time I bought a cartridge for that printer down in the basement. It's been a while. Probably 2019, I think. So, and we're almost into 2021. Which is kind of amazing. Yeah, so printer makers face the same challenges as every other hardware company. Basically, how to get people to keep spending money once they've made the initial investment. And the winning formula here is subscriptions.
Imagine having that problem. Imagine not just selling a product and it just is.
Yeah, so
until the person decides they don't want it anymore or want something better.
My manager was working for HP for a time. So he was like, so he would go to the Best Buy store in our area when we had a Best Buy store, right? And but he was contracted by HP to just hang out in the printer aisle and sell HP printers to people.
That's horrible. Oh god, that's horrible.
And part of what he was supposed to do was to sell this
absolutely
ink
awful
thing. Although he called it Instant
Oh.
Ink, was what it was, and he told me about it, and I was like, "That is so stupid."
Yep.
Oh man, I was like, so stupid. So
Oh yeah, it's really dumb.
anyway, let's see. Microsoft news time. Microsoft didn't actually do anything dumb this week, but they did something kind of interesting. Oh, let me pull this up over here. So, I mean, Microsoft's trying to do something nice for the holidays, right? So, Microsoft is getting into the holiday spirit a bit early by offering Microsoft Paint and Windows themed ugly sweaters for sale on its online store.
All right, I guess.
So let's see here. Here you go, Zach. That's what they look like. Oh, they've gone with like a classic like Windows like look. Oh, so that must be Windows 7 right there. Oh no, that one's XP.
Says XP on it. Well, why would you want that? Oh, that's funny.
I don't know.
guess.
Maybe you're a big like Intel fanboy or something. I don't know.
I'm just a big fan of Windows XP.
Or not Intel.
okay? I
I'm
gotta
sorry,
wear a
Microsoft.
sweater.
Microsoft.
But that just seems like such a weird way of saying how much you like Windows XP, I guess.
I don't know. So a portion of the proceeds from each sale are going to be donated to Girls Who Code. The company made Windows XP and 95 sweaters in the past to give to influencers and super fans. This is going to mark the first time that the company is selling a sweater directly to customers, however, though. I wonder if they just had a bunch of, like, stock left over. Like, hey, how can we get rid of all this? We know! When the sweaters first went on sale on Tuesday, there were three variants of Microsoft software available for purchase. Get it? Software. I just got that as I read that here. Anyway, they previously mentioned MS Paint sweater and leftover stock the Windows 95 and XP sweaters. When The Verge checked, the XP and 95 sweaters were already running low on stock, and they quickly sold out with only this year's Microsoft Paint sweaters available. If you want one, though, keep in mind that the new run won't ship until after Christmas.
No! I can't wear it at Christmas. What will I do?
Let's see here. I'm kind of curious to see how much these are going for. Let's see. The Windows Holiday Software Shop. Pre-order. Oh, see, these are all pre-order now. Let's see. $70? What? Okay, I was actually kind of interested until I saw the price of these. Like, I actually kind of considered buying one just because I was like, oh, this will be interesting, but not for. But then part of the proceeds go to like a good cause, and no, I can't justify spending $70 on a sweatshirt. Especially something like this that I'm like probably never gonna like. I would wear once.
It doesn't look very comfortable.
Let's see. Does it say Microsoft is only going to donate $20 of the sale? Or well, okay. I mean, they got to cover their cost, I guess, but does it say? I was trying to figure out what material. Let's see. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, okay. Well, that's kind of it's interesting, I guess, but yeah, I don't know about that. So yeah, so let's talk about this real quick here. So we're just gonna say reject all on that. Anyway, online retailer Very has canceled orders placed by scalpers for over 1,000 consoles. The PS5.
Hope they kept the money too.
Limited supply of new consoles have driven numerous parties to the money marketing tactic of attempting to buy more than one and then sell them on for a marked up price, also known as scalping.
That should be illegal.
You know, the problem is how do you limit it? How do you control it?
Well, first of all, they could put I mean, what if you had to solve a CAPTCHA before you can buy it?
Yeah, but bots are going to be able to get around that.
Well, it increases the barriers to entry at least. I mean, as it is right now, you know, like Bob Idiot off the street can just run a bot on his computer that buys PS5s, like, you know, that he can just go and download.
You know, if I have money to spend,
pay for.
if I have money to spend, I'd do like some Mr. Beast thing where you probably don't know who Mr. Beast is, do you?
Oh, I don't know. Some idiot that always shows up in the trending section on YouTube that makes
me vomit. It's
Ugh.
because he like spends exuberant amounts of money on like his friends and like subscribers and does crazy random things with it. Like, here's literally an idea for a Mr. Beast video. I created a bot to buy like 20 X or PS5s, and then I'm gonna give those away to random subscribers.
That just sounds like, I don't know, trying to bait people to subscribe by giving away free stuff, but whatever.
Actually, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, probably. Anyway, so those are kind of like the crazy videos that he does, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, that would be like the kind of like that would be like literally a Mr. Beast video right there. But so retailers including Very have attempted to suppress scalping by limiting purchases to one per address, but demand for the consoles is so much greater than supply that reselling has become a lucrative market. Now, workarounds for the tool that retailers are using to limit orders are also becoming a highly monetizable commodity in themselves. One business called Creep Chief Notify (CCN) charges members €30 a month and €400 for a lifetime membership to send them alerts when such a workaround becomes available. Okay. The business claimed to have exploited a link to make high-volume orders from their British retailer Very for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles. After the Very group was contacted by Sky News, a spokesperson confirmed that the orders had been canceled. Okay. Look, yeah, this is a...
Good. Scalping should be illegal.
A major issue.
What about one purchase per payment method?
Well, but see, okay, so here's the problem: is these bots are
Wonder
probably
how you get around that.
people have multiple credit cards.
Like one purchase per credit card? Well, yeah, but how many credit cards can you get? Like,
Well,
you can't get that many
A
credit
bot
cards.
may be able to somehow create a fake or like a vanity card somehow.
And it strikes me as a little unrealistic, actually,
No.
given the
There are
level
services
of-
out there. Privacy.com allows you to do this. It allows you to generate
okay.
fake card numbers.
So that you can like basically pay with a proxy credit card.
Yeah, basically. Which, if you think about it, is not a horrible idea. I had it set up for a while, and then when I got my new debit card, for some reason it won't work anymore, which I'm kind of upset about. Because it was a great way to buy things like online, or like, when you sign up for all these apps, right? You're like, they want to like save your credit card info. So here's the nice thing about
no.
I have recently just started putting my credit card information in and not saving it. Every time.
I always put it in.
But something like privacy.com, you can set up a card for that and then just use that. And the cool thing about that is with like privacy.com, you're able to also like you can make a card active for so long. You can actually, I don't know about that. I don't know if you can make it expire when you want, but I know that you could go in and set a spending limit either per transaction or per month on a card, which is kind of a cool feature. So if you had something like, say, Netflix or whatever, right, you could create a card and then put that in Netflix and then set it for the amount, or maybe just a little bit higher than what Netflix actually charges every month. And if that card tries to get charged more, it won't work. So I wonder if scalpers have some kind of system similar to that, or at least some of them that are allowing them to get around that. I don't know.
I guess a lot of them probably would do such things because, I mean, if the orders are reviewed and found to come from all one payment, it's like...
Yeah, and I don't know, some of it's probably on the...
I mean, really, they should, if you ask me, I feel they should be doing, multiple different things to just make it harder for the scalpers, at least, like, right now, they're not really doing anything to stop scalpers.
Look, here's what I would
like to... Sure, at the end of the day, they get paid for product, but at the same time, it makes, like, scalpers make people incredibly angry, and it generates a lot of bad PR for your retailers.
Here's what I would like to see is, and it will never happen, but I would like to see people, not give in to scalpers. Be like, look, this sucks that we can't get the product that we want. But
yeah, no one would scalp if no one would buy the scalped product. But, actually, funny thing, I've seen screenshots of, like, bots that have been developed by angry consumers to specifically search for, like, eBay scalper listings and then put a bajillion fake bids on them up to, like, absurd amounts of money and then just not pay for the product.
That's actually kind of funny.
Which basically wastes the scalper's time and makes it so that nobody can really attempt to buy the product until the auction ends, and then is promptly not paid for and then recreated.
That's actually kind of funny.
I thought that was hilarious when I saw it.
That
said, sure, a scalper who has at least 2 brain cells can just make it a buy it now or whatever and pick their price. But, hey, it's something, okay? You gotta punch them at least a few times,
Yep, you'd never get everyone to go along with the whole, just don't buy from scalpers, unfortunately. But that would be a solution. So, But anyway, moving on. Sorry, I just saw a button here and Oh, I didn't know I could do that. We've been using OBS for like 3 years now, and I just realized that I can do a manual fade like that. That's kind of cool. Okay, sorry. I got distracted there. If your iPhone 11 isn't responding to touches, it might be eligible for a free fix from Apple, Zach.
Thank goodness.
The company has launched a replacement program for iPhone 11 displays that stop responding to touches due to an issue with the display module. Apple says that a small percentage of iPhone 11 displays are affected. I always love when these giant companies are like, a small percentage. Like, okay.
Well, yeah, but like 1% of iPhone 12s is probably a huge number of phones.
Right, exactly.
Like that could be thousands upon thousands of phones.
Or millions. Depends on how many iPhones are out there.
I mean, I doubt they have 100 million iPhones out there.
No, but a couple million. Something like that. Devices
I have
affected
no idea,
by...
honestly, I don't care.
Right? Devices affected by this issue were manufactured between November 2019 and May 2020, Apple said, meaning not every phone is affected. But if you're seeing this issue on your iPhone 11, you can check to see if your phone is eligible for the program by plugging its serial number into a box on Apple's website for their replacement program. Oh, okay. Great. What is this going to ask me for? Let's see. iPhone 11 display module replacement program for touch issues. It asks you to put your serial number in. And maybe that's all it asks you for. Okay. I was expecting...
Probably would be all they need.
Yeah, but I was expecting Apple to like make you also put in like your name and phone number and all your other identifying information so that they could track your phone and specifically, link it to you.
Yeah, I know.
Although actually, you know what? I'm sure they can already do that because you sign into your Apple ID on the device. I didn't think about that. Anyway. If your phone is eligible for replacement, you can find one of Apple's authorized service providers to help. Oh boy. Make an appointment at an Apple retail store or contact Apple support to agree or to arrange for a mail-in. And Apple says that affected phones are covered for 2 years from the day you bought it. So if the issue comes up for you sometime in that 2-year window, you're still eligible for a free replacement. Assuming you haven't cracked the screen or anything like that. Because that most definitely will void that. But anyway. A couple quick things before we go. Hey, Zach. Remember our friend, Mr. Ajit Pai?
Oh, yeah. He's the worst.
He's out.
He's out.
He's going to be out. He will step down on January 20th.
Excellent. Yeah, but not before they... try and, leave a few landmines.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be leaving some landmines under the desk,
with
successor.
With Ajit Pai out, though, with Ajit Pai out, I wonder what the future of net neutrality is going to look like. So that could be
yeah,
interesting.
I'm sure. I mean, that would be awesome. And you know what? While we're at it, let's add some more rules, shall we?
Right?
I say let's add some more rules to it.
Google Fi is going to be offering $100 to upgrade your 3G phone before it stops working.
I guess some people probably still have them. I remember having one. Gosh, I feel
I
old.
had a sweet old lady and her daughter come in today, and they were looking for a battery for her phone, and I opened it up and I was like, oof. Go check with your carrier to make sure that this phone's still going to be supported before we put a new battery in here for you. Before I make you buy a new battery.
What was it?
It was some old Samsung flip phone.
Oh no, that's rough.
And the daughter, these two were not technologically capable people or whatever. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, it's possible this phone isn't going to be supported anymore. And the daughter was like, oh, you mean Androids? I'm like, no, this is not Android. This was way before an Android phone ever came out. So, yeah, Google Fi will stop activating non-voice over LTE phones in January and encourage customers with older phones to upgrade with a $100 credit provided they purchase a new phone from the Fi store and activate it before December 31st. Interesting. Google's hand is forced in the matter. Consumers subscribe to Fi, but as of MBMO, well, let's see. Okay, so see, I wondered about this. Okay, so it looks like Fi piggybacks on T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular's networks to provide coverage. Got it. Now that I know that, like, I kind of thought about, like, Google Fi, because, like, okay, fine, Google, you know, and, like, Google Fi's internet, I think, is actually pretty decent. But the fact that they're running on T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular's networks, yeah, or towers, let's see. T-Mobile has already announced its own plans to phase out support for non-voice over LTE phones starting in January 2021. And Fi has to as well. So let's see. Just a handling of the phone calls over LTE data rather than older 3G tech. Voice over LTE calls are typically cleaner with fewer drops in connection, though they're completely unavailable to older phones that only use 3G radios and even some early LTE models as well. Interesting. Google stopped activating 2G and 3G phones August 4th of this year. There's no hard date for the end of 3G service at Fi, but it's coming. And until Google makes an official announcement, the best bet is to look for when T-Mobile ends its coverage. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I ever tell you we had a guy that came in with I see some pretty old phones from time to time. I see a lot of flip phones. This guy came in with, I kid you, no lie, a legit like 90s like Nokia monochrome display.
Oof.
That's
rough.
Like, this is like not even one of the flip style ones, like kind of a brick phone.
My grandma had one.
Yep, this was a couple years
what
ago.
Talking about like the stereotypical Nokia phone, right?
Yeah, this was a couple years ago.
Indestructible one.
Probably.
Yeah. What did you have to tell him, that you couldn't get a battery for that or whatever for that?
I don't think he needed a battery. But I don't remember what he was trying to do. Yeah, here we go. Wait, this goes to an Amazon listing? Oh, this must just be...
You can buy them still? Yikes.
This must just be here for reference. Oh, crap. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, no, this right here. This isn't the exact one, but like this style is what this guy came in with, right?
Yep.
And so anyway, yeah, he definitely ain't gonna be using that much longer. Like I said, this is a couple years ago, and that thing came in, I was like, that thing is still supported? The guy's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually surprising.
I was like, oh. Yeah, I was very surprised with that. So, anyway. Let's see. Oh, and one last thing here. Chevy Bolt batteries were catching fire, and now there's a class action lawsuit, Zach.
Excellent.
So, you know,
I mean, I like, you know, I want to drive an EV, but like, come on, you know.
What are you looking at? Or
I'm not looking.
Okay, if you were going to
I
like,
meant just in the future, I would.
if okay, fine. Have you looked at?
I don't know. I've never even looked at one.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Have you looked at any like? Because
No,
you
I haven't.
okay.
I just want my next vehicle to be electric.
Electric. Okay, fine. But there are some
Yep.
electric vehicles out there, like
That'd be nice. Yes, there are.
like the Nissan Leaf, I think. Or is it?
I've heard bad things about that one.
I've heard I've heard bad things about the
recently
Leaf.
read an article about one of those.
Yep, I've heard bad things about the Leaf. Let's see. Actually, I think so. My mom has a friend who lives in the Chicago area, and they were very early on. They bought a Prius.
Okay.
And so, they've kind of been the like one of those families that was like, you know, they got into that early, right? Well,
Right.
I think they actually own a Nissan Leaf, and yeah, they were saying like it's horrible, like during
If
the winter.
batteries go and you can't replace them because it costs a monumental amount of money to replace the battery in one of those things. Batteries, I mean, there are tons of them.
Well, and supposedly they don't last that long either, like from charge to charge,
Well, yeah,
because it sounded
less
like
than 100 miles, no?
something like that. Because what it sounded like was that, like during the winter, like they had to be really conservative about like turning the heat on, otherwise they like might not be able to get home because
That's rough.
it would kill the battery. So, yep. But no, that one came to mind. So like the Nissan Leaf, the Chevy Volt. Is it I think there's the Volt and the Bolt.
Well, the Volt is a hybrid.
Ah, okay, yep. So you're talking all electric. Okay. And then probably the most famous of all, Tesla. Right? Let me ask you.
I mean,
If money
who wouldn't want to drive one of those if you could afford it?
I was gonna
They're
say
expensive.
if money was not an object, would you buy a Tesla?
Probably would, yeah.
You would?
I view them as like, even though I view them as like the Apple of cars.
I was just gonna
probably
say
still buy
that.
one. Because just like a lot of people who buy Apple products are not technology inclined, I am not car inclined at all.
Let's see.
If I could afford one, and yeah,
Well,
if I could afford one, I would totally drive one.
You could
That'd be awesome.
you could put fuel in your vehicle. That's a good start. What maintenance do you know how to do on your vehicle? Any?
Cabin air filter, engine air filter. That's about it.
Windshield washer fluid?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I could Google enough how to do that
Blinker fluid?
in the manual, whatever. What? Excuse me, but what is that? Blinker fluid.
You've never heard of blinker fluid
That's
before?
a joke.
No.
Blinkers are lights, no?
You've never heard of blinker fluid before?
What is that?
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're
your
talking
blinker
about.
fluid gets low and your light starts blinking faster, your light goes out.
What? No, I've never had to do that.
I'm yanking your chain, Zach. That's like,
Yeah, that sounds really stupid.
that's the classic one that they. Oh my gosh! Like you could
That's
probably.
why I said, are you joking?
Yeah, you could probably find videos online of like dads telling their teenage daughters to go into an auto store and ask for blinker fluid. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can buy blinker fluid on Amazon.
Probably can. Yeah, that's... Yep. But, you know, actually, on that topic, I think... So, I read somewhere recently that, you know, there was another country joining the growing list of countries that are planning to ban the sale of new combustion vehicles or by the year like 2030 or something. And that, yeah, let's do that. That'll get companies working on making it better.
What did I see? I saw some article as I was getting ready for the show this week. about like GM and Nissan pushing back against the current
Oh,
administrations.
screw them. Screw them.
Um,
No, make electric cars. Screw them.
Current administrations like wanting to like lessen some of the or lower some of the regulations around like
Screw them.
um
Electric cars.
environmental like environmental like emissions and things like that. So this is a good thing that these companies are wanting to do. So yeah, so there are
Oh,
some
really?
major players that are like, no,
Okay.
we need to like look at some of this stuff and like try to be more environmentally friendly. So I don't remember what the full article was, but anyway, that was something that I saw. So yeah. They have come out with something called the Wrist Cam. It's a camera for your Apple Watch.
That's awful.
A strap for an Apple Watch equipped with a front and rear facing camera. This just went from like dumb to like ultra dumb. It's finally launching after nearly 4 years in development. The Wrist Cam has an 8 megapixel camera. Whoop-de frickin' ding dong do. It can shoot 1080p video and take stills in 4K resolution, and a 2 megapixel camera for selfies. Yeah. How much is this going to cost? Does it say? The Wrist Cam is taking direct reservations for customers on its website for $299.
Isn't that the price of an Apple Watch?
I don't know.
So this accessory for an Apple Watch costs as much as an Apple Watch.
No, the
Well, how
future
much
of
does
your
an Apple
health.
Watch cost then? Huh?
The Apple Watch Series 6 starts at $399.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Got it. Okay, so I underestimated the Apple
well, okay.
tax.
If you want to buy the Apple Watch SE, those start at $279.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Don't care.
You know, this is interesting. I'm starting to see Apple starting to come out with some of these and I mean they kind of did it with the Mac Mini for a long time, but Apple is starting to come out with these devices
like
that are
mid-range products instead of just
yeah. So I don't know. Is the Apple landscape changing a little bit? Maybe not. Maybe Apple has realized that they have to market to the mid-range now. So who knows?
yeah, because not everyone wants to spend $1,000 on a phone.
Yeah. Honestly,
And
if
Apple didn't make a product that catered to those people.
honestly, and I've told people this, and you can tell me what you think, is the new iPhone SE that has launched, right?
What do you think of it?
I think it's actually a really compelling option if you want to be in the Apple ecosystem.
Well, yeah, that's a big if, but if you do, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've known people who swear by, their smaller iPhone just because they don't like.
No,
They
this
don't
isn't
like how the
smaller.
newer
It's the
ones
same
are all
size
just
as an 8.
gigantic.
It's the same size as an
Really?
8.
I thought it was smaller.
No, it's probably bigger than the iPhone 12 mini, actually. But I think the iPhone 12 mini is probably the same size as the original SE, because the second gen SE is the same size as the 6, the 7s, and the 8s. But for what you're getting with it, you're getting the same chip as the iPhone 11 had in it. Decent cameras. I mean, the cameras on iPhones have always been pretty decent. And you're getting it for like $300, $400.
Not the sensor, the software.
Yeah, the
software
software.
is the secret sauce.
Let's see, iPhone SE. And this is if you have to buy the thing outright, right? The iPhone SE. $400. Like, it's a pretty compelling option if you want to be into
iPhone
the Apple.
SE $400. Wow,
I know. When you
$400.
yeah, when you
Is that's the current generation?
mm-hmm.
Wow, it's actually I mean that's not bad. If you're willing to be stuck with Apple, on the software side of things.
Let's see, iPhone 12. I'm looking for the iPhone 12 mini. How much is the mini? The iPhone 12 mini. The iPhone 12 mini goes for $700.
A little steep.
I'm a little confused as to how you can go from something.
iPhone 12 mini. Gosh.
Yeah,
I mean,
mini.
isn't that supposed to be a lower end device? My high end device cost that much.
No,
Less than that much.
I think the theory behind the mini is it's just supposed to be a smaller size. But here's the thing that's a little confusing.
Should lower the price more.
Is why can I buy and maybe actually I bet you it's because of the design of the iPhone 12 mini that's different. That's probably what creates some of the price increase on it. Because I was going to say, how can you go from having a device, right, that is bigger, right? Something like, it might have an OLED screen on it. That could be the difference. Although I thought I don't know. Anyway, because the SE second generation is a bigger phone than the iPhone 12 mini, which to me would say there's more material involved with building an iPhone 12 or an iPhone SE second gen. Gosh darn it, Apple!
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh my gosh, the iPhone X when it came out, the iPhone X, the iPhone XE, the iPhone.
Well, it's supposed to be called
SE.
10, but honestly, I kind of use the terms interchangeably.
Yeah, the iPhone X, the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, the iPhone XR.
XS Max Super Mega Ultra Uber Edition. Just got my new iPhone X Super Premium Mega Ultra Edition. Woohoo!
Goodness gracious, yeah.
Gosh, so yeah.
Just but yeah, I bet you that's what it is. I bet you it's just the new design. Well, I guess there's glass on the iPhone 12 mini, and so and there's 2 cameras on it. Okay, so that probably increases its price a little bit. So I think the iPhone 12 mini
2
is
whole
geared.
cameras. Wow, incredible.
Yeah. I think the iPhone 12 mini is actually geared for people that just want a smaller device is all. So anyway, with that, I have nothing else to add for this week. So thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Get subscribed to our channel if you haven't done that already. And we should see you back here next week. So we'll talk to you then. Bye.